Good afternoon, this is Mark at the Wicked Edge Expert Corner Group YouTube channel and Facebook. And today we're back sharpening this VG10 Giotto. And we're on 2000 grit stones. We're using Sharpening glass stones. And we took a break yesterday and we were talking about knife steel hardness. And where does it cross the line? I guess I give an impression that you need to use whetstones for the harder steels. And that's not true. Hard steels can be both stainless steels and high carbon steels, and they sharpen completely differently. The sharpening process is the same, but how they feel, the feedback, the effort, all that stuff is completely different. The high carbons are very easy to sharpen, and the stainless steels, the real hard tool steels and machine steels, those are stain resistant. They get tougher to sharpen with the same methods that sharpen high carbon steels very easily. I didn't mean to start talking about hardness again, but I guess I want to, tie it all together. So when I talk about whetstones, the whetstones that I use, I was surprised by how easily I was able to sharpen stainless steels that were presenting problems to me to sharpen with diamond stones. And when I started using the whetstones, I enjoyed them so much that I used them for a lot of steels. So I didn't spend but some time at the beginning when I mostly used diamond stones. I used them to sharpen some high carbon steels. And I want to make this clear that my experience sharpening is for the most part with Japanese chef knives. And the reason for that is that Japanese chef knives are available in a vast variety of steels, which is what we're talking about sharpening here. So the steels that are available are Japanese chef knife steels. So those of you who have pocket knives and not Japanese chef knives steels, don't be turned off by that. It's not the actual steel, it's the process and the hardness. Just my personal experience and the naming of the steels that I use are Japanese steels because they're affordable. I've been able to compile this collection because I chose to use Japanese steel. And because I chose Japanese chef knives, I saw the variety of steels. It all came together. If you're trying to do that with pocket knives, you could do the same thing, say with Spyderco's, buy a shape that's available in a bunch of different steels. But then I have to have a reason to use them. You know, the chef knives I had a reason to use, and I don't know, a box of knives and having to go through them and cut up stuff, it's easier for me to pick a different knife to use when I'm making a sandwich every day. So it all came together, and the types of steels that I speak about, take that for what it's worth if you're interested in those steels. If you're not interested in those steels, then tell me what steel you are interested in, and if I have it, I can sharpen it to tell you, compare it to see how it rates hard, soft, what I think is the way that I would go to sharpen it. I've done this intentionally enough times that I can draw these conclusions. It's not anecdotal. I've done this same steel enough times that I'm finally able to understand something about the characteristics of this steel and the characteristics of other steel. So in general, so it's not to talk on and on about this, with the harder steels, stainless steels, beyond VG10, in Japanese chef knives, the next step of popularity is the SG2, which is Super Gold 2 / R2, which is like a grouping of, just like there's a lot of VG10s, it's a grouping of steels, and it is this harder. It's a different edge. It's like in between the Miyabi horror story with the diamonds that it wants to go away. Sharpening the harder steels, the edge looks like you're going to lose it. It doesn't have that mirror slick apex like a high carbon steel comes up to using diamond stones. It's more rugged looking, but it's really sharp. And it cuts really well. And it lasts a really long time, even though when you sharpen it, it doesn't look as pretty as you'd hope the sharpened apex would look. That is my experience with the R2 SG2, and I have a lot of them. They're sort of tougher to sharpen, because the sharpened edge I get is not as pretty as I want it to look, so I give up. And when I use it, I'm surprised that it cuts as well as it does. The next one above that would be like ZDP 189. That one's even tougher. That one crumbles even more. And I don't have but a couple of knives in it, and I'm going to spend more time sharpening it and try with the resin diamonds. That's about, and then the next I have is the HAP 40. And I think that HAP 40 and the ZDP 189, they're like 65, 66 hardness, maybe some call them 67. And that's as hard as you get. And that's where my experience ends. Those two, and I sharpened those two with whetstones because I just didn't use the diamond stones because I didn't have good results with the hard steels previously. So once I started using whetstones on the hard steels, I did not use diamonds anymore. So I cannot speak with conviction. I can't say anything about sharpening the hard steels like ZDP 189, HAP 40, and some of the crucible steels. I have recently, I can't remember what that's called, the knife I just bought is one of the CPM steels that's hard. And I haven't used it enough to need to sharpen it. I've never put a stone on it. So I have opportunities to revisit sharpening hard steels with diamond stones. And since my original, I'm looking for something. Oh, excuse me. I had quit using diamond stones trying to sharpen hard steels when I had failures. And I had followed it up with success with whetstones. So I didn't do much other than some Aogami Super, some blue 1, blue 2, with the diamond stones, and those are harder steels. Those were easy to sharpen, but the stainless steels, corrosion resistant steels, I quit when I had failures and went to the whetstones because I had good results. And so when I sharpened my ZDP and the hat, I used the whetstones. I didn't give them a try. Since then, now with diamond matrix stones, diamond resin stones that I have, and some that go to very fine grits, I can revisit sharpening those hard steels now with the epoxy stones. And I look forward to doing that. But we need to continue on this. So I'm going to stop this video here, that I wanted to go more into. VG10 is that brake where you can see the difference, where it starts to act hard, and from there it's hard, and the steels, the knives, as you use them, they don't roll. The harder steels, they chip out. At the same time, when you sharpen the edge is a little chippy on the harder steels that you sharpen. The stainless steels. The high carbon steels, it's a whole different animal. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to do more Sunday school knife talk. I got more knives coming that will illustrate what I'm talking about. So I'm going to say goodbye on this, and we're going to come back and go back to sharpening this with 2000 grit Shapton glass stones, VG10 steel Giotto. Thank you.